Hello folks, and good evening. I wanted to come back on here and record a video clarification from my live stream on June the 30th, which was last night. And what I really wanted to zero in on was the Nikon Rumors announcement about these camera bodies that Nikon has registered in Asia. Now, last night we got into a discussion about these camera bodies that are announced by Nikon, and they give them a number, and the number starts with the letter N. I assume that's for Nikon, and there's a pattern here if you just kind of pay attention to what's going on a little bit, and it has to do with the numbering sequence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little bit here from Nikon Rumors and let you know. And we're going to go back to the original Z6, okay, the first version, and the Z7 first version. And the registration number, the Asia registration number for the Nikon Z6 was N as in Nancy, and I'm not going to repeat the N anymore, I'm just going to give you the four numbers, 1711, okay. The registration number for the Z7 was 1710. Now pay attention to those first two numbers, okay, 17. The Nikon Z6ii and the Nikon Z7ii, the Nikon Z6ii, its number was N1929. The Z7ii was N1932. Again, pay attention to the first two numbers. The original versions of the Z6 and Z7 started with 17. The Z6 II series, the Z7 II, the 2 series, the Mark II series started with 19. When the Z6 III was announced, okay, when its registration number was given out, it was given a number of N2214. Okay, those are the numbers we know. Okay, these are real numbers. These are the registration numbers for these cameras that you can buy now. Except for the Z6 and Z7. They may have discontinued that by now. Now, Nikon made an announcement yesterday, and it was posted on Nikon Rumors. They have registered 2 additional camera bodies for this year, well, coming up. The one that really perks my interest the most is the one that's numbered N216. So if you fill in the blanks, if you just do like I just did and have a piece of paper and wrote these numbers down, the Z6 III was 2214. I believe the next camera, or one of these cameras, is going to be the Z7 III. 2216 is the number we're looking at. So again, zero in on the first two numbers. The original Z series 6 and 7 started with 17. The Z6 II and the Z7 II started with 19. And the Z6 III started with 22. And the unknown camera starts with 22 also. A Z7 III. That's what I think Nikon's coming out with. That's one of the bodies they announced. What is it going to be? Your guess is good as mine. But if they come out with another 45 megapixel sensor, they are crazy, okay? I mean, they've already got the Z7, the Z7 II, the Z8, the Z9, and the D850 with 45 megapixel sensors in them. I may have misquote that. I think, yeah, the Z7 had 45 megapixels. So they don't need another 45 megapixels. What they need is something bigger, okay? They need to come out with 60 or 80 megapixels on the Z7 III. And a lot of it has to do with pricing. If they get the Z7 III at a 45 megapixel, they're not going to be able to charge, well, it'd almost be the same price as a Z8, I believe, just about, okay? You know, if everything holds true to what Nikon has done in the past, the Z6 II was about $2,000 new, and the Z7 II was $3,000 new. There's always been about $1,000 difference in them two bodies. So I think if they make a 45 megapixel sensor camera, they are crazy. They're not going to sell any of those. I think it's going to be a big megapixel camera, 60 megapixels or 80 megapixels, something like that. There was another rumor that came out today. I was just reading Nikon Rumors here, and somebody else has posted let me see if I can get that pulled back up. Somebody else posted something about a rumor out of China, okay, China of all places to start a rumor. of an 88 megapixel Nikon Z3. I don't know, okay? I'm not into that kind of stuff, but what I am into is numbers. And when you play these numbers, these registration numbers, you put them on a piece of paper, it just makes sense that we're going to see a Z7 III. Now, the other registration number that came out the other day was yesterday. Let me find it again here. Hold on with me. Just 1 second. I'll find it. Yeah, so the other number that came about yesterday was N2312. Now, playing that number game again, that 23 tells me it's going to be a completely different body, okay? I don't think it's going to be a Z6 III or a Z7 III. I think Nikon owes it to us pro-level wildlife photographers to give us an APS-C camera to replace the D500. We have all been screaming about it. We all want it. They're going to sell a buttload of them, okay, if they do come out with it. And it needs to have a stack sensor in it, APS-C stack sensor. It needs to be 33 megapixels. It needs to be able to shoot at least a minimum of, it'd be great if it's an electronic shutter mode, 20 frames per second. So when I go through the list of numbers that they've used already, and I try to get some of these other cameras, the ZF, the Nikon ZF, which was in between the Z8 and the Z6 III, they announced it in between all that. The ZF had a number of 2137, which is, you know, outside this whole realm of things. Pay attention to those first two numbers, okay? Get on Nikon Rumors, pull up the thing, and you'll see what I'm talking about, okay, with these numbers. And all you got to do is write that down on a piece of paper. I'm going to go over it one more time. The registration number for the Z6 was 1711. For the Z7 was 1710. For the Z6 II was 1929. For the Z7 II, it was 1932. For the Z6 III, it was 2214. The new unknown camera that's coming out that was registered just the other day is 2216. I don't know what it is, but we think it's going to be a Z7 III. The ZF was 2137. It doesn't even play into the equation of things here. It doesn't even match any of these numbers. The other unknown camera that Nikon is developing or has registered and is coming out is number 2312. And the only thing I can hope for is an APS-C. It might be a Z5, a Z50 Mark II replacement. And there's been a lot of chatter about that too. So anyways, get in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you think it's going to be, okay? And let's have a discussion about it. Because I think it's going to be a Z7 III. I think it's going to be a high megapixel Z7 III. And when it comes out, I think it's going to be in the fall. So I'm going to keep this video around and see if my predictions came true. And I'll put another video out when it does come out. And we'll see if I'm going to eat my words or if I kind of figured it out correctly. Like I said, I'm a numbers guy, and I start looking at these common denominators, and it just made a lot of sense, okay? Hey, listen, thanks for coming by. I just wanted to clarify my live stream the other night because it got kind of lengthy on some other we start talking about street photography and some other things, and I wanted to make a special video to zero in on this possibility of a Z7 III in the future. My name is Ron Durant. I'm a photographer in East Tennessee. Y'all have a nice evening now. Bye-bye.